Thank you for joining us here at EC Council University this morning for our exciting topic, empowering Black girls and women in cybersecurity. My name is Mark Buck. I am the Vice President of Marketing and Admissions here at EC Council University. Just to maybe lay out a quick verbal agenda, what we hope to cover this morning is talking about some of the trends in cybersecurity, some of the great opportunities that exist out there. We're going to talk about the workforce, the landscape of the workforce, talk about where there are opportunities. We're going to talk about the exciting support that EC Council University now has the pleasure of providing to Black Girls Hack, as well as other minority organizations in cybersecurity. We're going to go through some information today. We will talk about the EC Council University scholarships that are available to members of Black Girls Hack and those that they serve. And then we'll leave some time at the end. If you do have questions throughout today's presentation, please jot those down because you will have the opportunity to ask those questions via chat towards the end. Again, as I said, my name is Mark Buck, and as the Vice President of Marketing and Admissions here at EC Council University, one of our goals is to help support the gap in the workforce, specifically the cybersecurity workforce that exists. And one of the areas that we recognize where additional support is needed is driving and helping create opportunities for women and minorities in the cybersecurity workforce. And providing scholarship opportunities is just one way that we're doing that, and we're accomplishing that. So I was very pleased and excited when I had the opportunity to meet and speak with the leaders and the leadership team from Black Girls Hack. And that's why we have put together an agreement with Black Girls Hack, and we'll talk a little bit about those scholarships and those opportunities that exist. But a little bit about the global landscape, right? I think we all know that right now, cybersecurity, and I'm sure almost everybody joining this call right now is engaged in cybersecurity or has an interest in cybersecurity in one way or the other. And if we take a look back, over the last 5 to 10 years, cyber criminals and cyber crime continues to escalate. And anytime there's an innovation in technology, you can pretty much guarantee that along with that development in innovation, increases in cyber crime are going to increase. And what does that mean? That means that there's going to continue to be a shortage in the workforce. Right now, the global shortage, it's expected to reach 3.5 million people by 2021. We actually exceeded that, and now it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 million individuals. I think we all know, again, most individuals on this call have been engaged in cybersecurity in one level or another, but the attacking segments happen in areas of phishing, ransomware strategies, cryptojacking has really seen some increases, cyber physical attacks, state-sponsored attacks, state agencies, government agencies now are becoming a more targeted opportunity for the cyber criminals. The IoT attacks. So all of these are areas where why we will continue to see increases. Smart medical devices. I think if any of us have gone to a doctor or an emergency room within the last 2 years, I think we noticed that right now laptops, iPads are ways where doctors and or administrators at medical facilities are taking and logging information. So what does that create? It creates a market problem, right? There is a significant cost to the data breach, right? We saw actually data breaches are increasing anywhere from 2 to 4%, and they're costing any average organization $4 to $6 million, which is the average cost of a data breach. 67% of most professionals agree that the shortage of cybersecurity candidates is going to increase. And right now, there continues to be, as I said earlier, almost 3.5 million, expected 3.5 million vacant jobs in cybersecurity. So what are the industries that are really in need of cybersecurity? Well, the largest industries that are being targeted by cyber criminals are in the areas of banking. Financial institutions continue to be the number one target for cyber criminals. Healthcare, e-commerce, manufacturing. I'll come back to automotive in a minute. Hospitality. We talked about state and federal and local government agencies. Education. There were 2 major universities last year that had their data and information compromised, cost those institutions millions of dollars. Airlines, mobile communication, automotive. There was an automotive manufacturer recently that was a target of cyber criminals from a ransomware perspective, where cyber criminals actually were able to hack into smart vehicles and shut those vehicles down on the road. And what did they do? They tried to hold that manufacturer hostage for that information and to be able to communicate how they reached that data. So what does all this mean for the employment outlook? We talked a little bit about that. With that continuing and rapid increase in cybercrime, we will also see a continued and rampant increase in the need for cybersecurity professionals. Right between 2021 and 2031, the number of cybersecurity jobs that will be needed will grow by 35%. And we already talked about that equates to about 3.5 million vacant jobs. I saw a recent shortage which showed that if you took all of the other IT related positions that are vacant, they still don't compare to the number of vacancies that are open in cybersecurity. So why are we here today? When we take a look at the cybersecurity workforce and we take a look at that demand, the recent statistics show that only 24% of cybersecurity workers identify as women. Only 9% of cybersecurity workers identify as Black, and women and people of color are less likely to serve in leadership positions in cybersecurity companies. And if you take a look at compensation and salaries, there is a significant difference, and there are significant discrepancies in cybersecurity salaries across race and across gender. Yet, despite that, there continues to be thousands of cybersecurity positions that remain unfilled. So what role does EC Council University play? And what have we taken on as part of our mission to help address this inadequacy? Well, here at EC Council University, we created something called the Cybersecurity Advancement Alliance. And what is that? Well, the Cybersecurity Advancement Alliance is an initiative, and we've built it into part of our mission here at EC Council University. And it's a collaborative initiative to work with various organizations so we can address the ongoing demand for cybersecurity professionals, help drive and fill that employment gap. But we want to do that by creating a more diverse workforce. And more importantly, we want to make sure that we are ensuring that career and educational opportunities are available and accessible to all individuals. So a couple key points there. We absolutely want to continue to drive and help fill that employment gap. But we believe that ethically it's part of our mission to do that while we're creating that diverse workforce, and we're creating and we're taking the lead in making sure that those education and career opportunities are available and accessible to all individuals, and individuals who maybe previously or historically did not have access to those. So what types of organizations do we work with, do we align with, and do we support through the Advancement Alliance? Well, one is academic institutions. We continue to work with community, technical colleges, colleges and universities that maybe aren't strong in cybersecurity, helping them build their programs. Companies and corporations, right? One way is making sure that our graduates are aware of the opportunities that are out there and partnering and working with companies, corporations to employ our graduates. But more importantly, working with companies and corporations to help educate their workforce in enhanced cybersecurity skills and competencies. Community organizations. Right now, we've taken on, as part of the Advancement Alliance, we've targeted many community organizations across the country, and many of them in the inner cities, to make sure that we're bringing these education opportunities to those who otherwise might not have access. Professional and industry associations, right? So there are various professional associations that support enhancements in cybersecurity, support initiatives in cybersecurity. So working with those associations as well. And then, perfect example why we're here today and why we're working with Black Girls Hack, nonprofit organizations. So that we're working and partnering and supporting institutions, organizations, associations in all of these areas as part of our Advancement Alliance. So when we support an organization or an association through the Cybersecurity Alliance, how do we do that? Well, first of all, we're going to make sure that we are providing access to our monthly expert sessions. We hold a series of cyber talks every month here at EC Council University, and we're going to work very diligently with the leadership at Black Girls Hack to make sure that members of Black Girls Hack, those that they support, have access to those monthly expert sessions, having the ability to stay current on trends, patterns, hiring demands, seeing what's happening in cybersecurity as we speak. We hold industry engagement sessions where we bring subject matter experts to speak on hot topics and what's happening. Events and conferences. We are part of a much larger organization, EC Council, and we have events and conferences almost every month. So making sure that we're distributing information and informing members of our alliance into what those events and conferences are. Applied research, making sure that if there's research that members of our alliance have and they want to share that they have a forum to do that. And then another way, scholarships. Exactly what we're doing with Black Girls Hack. Making sure and understanding that scholarships and the need for financial support have to play a role in this. It's a critical function and a critical role if we're going to be successful in our alliance mission of providing those education and career opportunities. And we're going to get into the scholarships in a little bit more detail. But right now, the scholarship opportunities that we are making available to members of Black Girls Hack and those that they support and those that they're affiliated with, providing scholarships in the non-degree cybersecurity certifications, graduate certification programs, our bachelor's programs, and then we have master's programs in cybersecurity and computer science with a focus in cybersecurity. And just to show our level of commitment and support, we are going to be providing 50%, a scholarship, which equates to 50% of a student's tuition on any of these programs because of our support for Black Girls Hack. Some of you might not be familiar with who EC Council University is, so I just want to take a minute to let you know who we are. We are actually the education extension of EC Council. And for those of you that are in cybersecurity, you may have earned a certification through EC Council. Our parent company, EC Council, is the largest provider of cybersecurity certifications in the world. And we've been the largest provider since the early 2000s. And I'll share with you who our founder and our CEO is. but we are the education extension of EC Council. We are a fully accredited US-based university. We are based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're licensed by the New Mexico Higher Education Department, but we are a fully accredited online university. So our CEO, you may be familiar with him. His name is Jay Bavisi. Jay was actually the architect and the creator, what we have all come to know as certified ethical hacking. So whether you've earned a CEH certification through EC Council or another organization, our CEO, Jay Bavisi, was actually the architect of certified ethical hacking. And Jay was actually conducting training in certified ethical hacking in 2001 when 9/11 hit. And I think we all remember what a tragic day 9/11 was. Well, Jay was actually summoned by the Department of Defense and the FBI to come to Washington. And they basically asked him, can you teach us and show us and train people within our government agencies on how to become ethical hackers, how to know and predict potential future terrorist attacks. And when we look and we think about hacking in the airline industry, we think of hackers as potentially getting into the database and getting customer information, or maybe shutting down a reservation system. But the bigger fear which exists is it possible in preventing future terrorist attacks? On 9/11, if we all recall, the terrorists physically overtook airliners to conduct and carry out their tragic attacks. Well, it's not too far stretched to think that that can happen electronically. And so that was one of the reasons why our founder and CEO, Jay Bavisi, created the certified ethical hacking and has gone on to create so many more certifications, which is why EC Council has actually become the largest provider of certifications in the world. I would encourage you, go out and take a look at who EC Council is. We've been featured on CNN, CNBC, Fox News. But what are the segments that we serve? As we've grown, we serve, just basic corporate enterprise. We work with companies like Deloitte, Cisco, Hewlett Packard, Verizon, Xerox. As I stated earlier, we support the academic community, Western Governors University, CMD, Central New Mexico, University of Phoenix. And while we are a university, we actually partner with other universities to help them build up their cybersecurity programs as well. And then we work very heavily in the government sector, right? The FDA, the Army. We already talked about the Department of Defense, FBI, all branches of the military. What are the segments that we work within, specifically within different areas? So we work within aerospace and defense. We work within energy, financial institutions, healthcare, technology, telecommunications. We actually reach, we train, we educate individuals that are employed at over 100 of the Fortune 500 companies. If you take a look, we have students from all across the world. And if you take a look at our global footprint and who EC Council is and where individuals who have certifications through EC Council and EC Council University are, we have a very, very strong global input. Again, you very well may have heard of us. We've been on the news over the last 10 years. We've been featured. We're typically the expert that is called upon, the expert organization that is called upon to speak on cybersecurity. A little bit about our accreditation and our recognitions. We actually, we continually meet and exceed the international standards in professional training and certification through ANSI, CNSS, again, the NSA, Department of Defense, Veteran Affairs. And how do we do that? At EC Council University and EC Council, we have over 220,000 certified members that we work with that are out there practicing and working with our certifications. We have over 2,700, almost 3,000. I believe that number is now close to 3,000 training and education partners. We have over 2,000 certified instructors. We have over 3,000 tools and technologies that we embed into our certifications and our programs. Between our advisory boards and our subject matter experts, we have now, I believe it's close to 400 subject matter experts and members on our advisory committees that help us mold and lay out our curriculum and our courses to make sure that we're training and we're educating on the most current and those competencies and developing those skill sets that are the most in demand. And now I believe we've actually exceeded, we're in over 200 countries. Our certifications, we are certified, we are accredited through DEAC. They are the largest accrediting body when it comes to online education. I would encourage you to go online and look at DEAC. If you are an online university, that's actually the gold standard of accreditation. So we are accredited by DEAC. Well, we are also accredited by CHIA. And then we are recognized by the National Council for State Authorization Reciprocity Agreements. And then a big one, ACE, the American Council on Education. We were actually also given the seal for for one of the best master's programs in 2022, and we were ranked in the top 20 most valuable online colleges in America. So what courses do we offer? And as members of Black Girls Hack and as individuals who are thinking, you know what, I might want to take advantage of these scholarship opportunities at EC Council University. So we have 5 primary areas where we deliver coursework. Number 1 is our Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity. We recognize that a lot of individuals are out there and they've earned certifications, but they may not have a bachelor's, or they might simply have an interest in cybersecurity. They might not be working in cybersecurity, but they want to earn a bachelor's. Our bachelor's is actually a degree completion program. So if somebody has an associate's degree or an equivalency of 2 hours of previous college credit, our Bachelor's of Science is the perfect entry point for them to complete that bachelor's. The nice thing about our bachelor's program, as you'll see, we do not require you to have an associate's or 2 years of previous college in IT, computer science, or cybersecurity. You can come to us with an associate's in accounting and finance. And we actually see a lot of students coming into our bachelor's program with associates or diplomas from non-IT areas because they want to make themselves very marketable. So we see students, as I gave an example, somebody who might have an associate's in accounting or finance, they will come to us. We build the certifications into our degree program. So when they graduate with a bachelor's, they will graduate with an associate's in a non-IT area, a bachelor's in cybersecurity, and they will have earned the 5 largest and most in-demand cybersecurity certifications. And I'll show you shortly what those certifications are. I like to tell people our bachelor's, and you'll see our master's, we're like the Ellis Island when it comes to cybersecurity degree programs. We don't care what your background is in. We will welcome you with open arms because we have a way of building those certifications while you're in the program. Our second is our master's program, Master's in Cybersecurity. In a very similar manner, if you come to us with a bachelor's in a non-IT or non-computer science area, that's okay because we build certifications into the master's program. The next one, our next master's, it's a Master's of Science in Computer Science. Now in this area, we do encourage and we actually require you to have some form of computer science at the bachelor's level. But what makes our Master's in Computer Science different is we've built in 3 areas and 3 foundations: blockchain technology, robotics, and artificial intelligence. So when we built this master's program, we went out there, we worked with our advisory committees, we worked with our subject matter experts, and we asked, what can make our program different than any other program? And they said, build these three components in there, because out in the educational arena, there's not a master's in computer science that has those three areas. We also offer graduate certificate programs. Maybe somebody already has a bachelor's or a master's. They're not looking to pursue a degree, and they just want a graduate certificate. So we offer a variety of graduate certificates, which require you to take 3 courses and earn that. And then the last area is, we actually understand that somebody might just want to come and take an individual course. Maybe they just want to take a single course and get certified in CEH and certified ethical hacking. Maybe they just want to take an individual course and get a C&D certification or CHFI. That's okay, because we do have a continuing education division where you can take a non-degree course, okay, and earn certifications while you're in those courses. So we really try to meet every student where they're at and make sure that we have some level of an educational pathway for whatever they're trying to accomplish. So very quickly, in our Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity, what makes our program different is we build all of these certifications into the program. So the CEH, the CND, CHFI, CTIA, and CSA. Now, when a student graduates with our Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity, they will have these certifications. What makes EC Council University different and where we separate ourselves from other programs, there are other programs that are out there where they will claim that they provide certification. What they really do is they prepare you to take the exam. We see a lot of students come into our program who came from other institutions who said, I took this class, it didn't really prepare me for the exam. They didn't provide the exam, and I had to pay for the exam out of my own pocket. And from what I understand, taking these certification exams can cost anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. With EC Council University, you don't need to worry about that, because we build our courses specifically around the content on these certification exams, and the cost for the exam voucher is built into the tuition. So you don't have to worry about paying separately, going out and trying to take the exam. While you are in the program, we will provide you with that voucher. We will train you on the content for that exam. And we actually cover the cost of taking the exam twice if you don't pass. So that's a key differentiator. But these are all the certifications that individuals in our bachelor's program will come out with. In our Master's of Science in Cybersecurity, we've actually built in 8 certifications, okay? And very similarly, the courses are built around the content of the certification exam. We help you study for the exam. We provide the voucher and up to a second take on the exam. So when you're coming out of our master's in cybersecurity, you're coming out with 8 certifications, and all those certifications are listed right there. And just so you know, I'll be more than happy to send this information, but all this information is available on our website, which I'll provide you that information towards the end of today. Our Master's of Science in Computer Science, again, it focuses in on 3 fundamental areas and foundational areas: blockchain technology, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And then when you come out with our Master's of Science in Computer Science, you'll also come out with the CND and the CEH certification. Our graduate certificate programs. So maybe you don't want to take an individual course and earn an individual certification, but you actually want to get a graduate certificate. At ECCU, our graduate certificate programs, you take 3 courses in a specialized area and you walk away with that graduate certificate, which basically means you're demonstrating an enhanced skill set and competency in that area. We find that many individuals who are already working in the field and maybe they have a bachelor's, maybe they already have a master's, but they're still aspiring to move up the career ladder and become managers, directors. Maybe they want to focus on becoming a CIO. We provide graduate certificates in these areas: information security professional, security analyst, enterprise security analyst, digital forensics, incident management and business continuity, and then executive leadership and information assurance. So we typically see individuals that are working in the field, and maybe they're aspiring to get into management, or they're already in management and they want to continue to advance within management, coming back to earn a graduate certificate in one of these areas. And then we talked about the individual courses, the continuing education. Somebody that just wants to come and maybe earn an additional certification, maybe earn a more current certification because the certification that they've earned maybe has been outdated. But all those certifications that we offer in our programs, individuals can also take an individual course, right? We call them the non-degree seeking student who's just looking to take that course and earn that certification. So all those certifications that are in our program, you can also take as an individual course. So somebody asks, I'm already working in the industry. What's the benefit to earning a degree or maybe an additional certification, whether it's a graduate certificate or just taking a course? Well, we're finding that more employers are requiring them. We see a lot of our students telling us that they were passed over for a promotion, or they didn't qualify because their employer now is requiring an advanced degree or an advanced certification. So more employers are requiring them, and it allows an individual to qualify for those more advanced positions. It's helping individuals prepare for leadership positions. It helps, obviously, increase salary potential. It allows individuals, once they're in those positions, to create a wider networking opportunity. By taking these courses and by earning these, it helps individuals gain a more well-rounded education. And within our courses and in our programs, we help provide a deeper knowledge of the topics in cybersecurity. We find that our graduates they actually qualify and increase their opportunities for employment. And what's different about our courses, and this is really critical because this is why I think our employers enjoy hiring our graduates. You can take a certification course at home, take it on your own and go through your own pace. And if you do well, you might earn that certification. But embedded into our courses and into our labs, what we're hearing our employers who hire our grads say is, we know that your graduates or individuals who are earning certifications through you, they're developing critical thinking skills. And that's that's key. And it helps prepare for the future. So we already talked about a few differentiators at ECCU. So we are the world's most pursued cybersecurity certifications. When you take a look, I believe right now, we've exceeded 500,000 individuals that are working in the industry right now that have earned their certifications through EC Council. But what's really important is we talked about, whether you're taking an individual course, earning a graduate certificate, or whether you're in one of our degree programs, we've embedded all of our courses and all of our programs to provide all of these, right? So you'll have access, your books are included, right? You'll have access to discussion threads. Your videos are included. You'll have access to webinars. We're going to talk about the scholarships here in a second, right? Weekly live sessions. We include Grammarly, right? For those of you that aren't familiar, Grammarly is a tool that really helps our students develop proficient writing skills, which is very critical and what employers are looking for. We work with our students. Again, part of our mission is making sure we're ensuring that education is accessible to those who otherwise might not have access to that. So from a financial perspective, we're willing to work with students. And then, as we said, the cost of the exams is built into that. If we don't prepare our students to pass those exams, earn those certifications, then really what are we here for? So all of those are included in what makes us different. We make our students industry and job ready. We do that through the professional certifications. We do that through the iLabs and mentorship. And you'll hear, when you hear about our iLabs, when you are in our courses, first of all, we pride ourselves on hiring adjunct faculty. Our faculty are individuals who are working in the field, and they are bringing real world scenarios into these labs. So when you go out and you interview for a job or for promotion and somebody says, well, do you have work experience in this area? You'll be able to say yes, and we will help you demonstrate on how you communicate those projects that you worked on in the iLabs. So you're getting that real world experience. And then through our partnerships across the world, we have the ability to connect our students with hundreds of internship opportunities, right? Success indicators, more and more employers, they're looking for individuals to have those bachelor's degrees, those master's degrees, or at a minimum, more certifications or those graduate certifications. How do we measure ourselves? Well, we measure ourselves in our own success barometer. 100% of our graduates report employment within a year. We're really proud of that, right? 93.8% when we sit down with them and we ask them what their academic goals were, and we survey our graduates, almost 94% of them claim that they've earned that. What's interesting is when we look across the education spectrum, retention is a big issue, right? Students, maybe they start in a course or a program, but for whatever reason, they don't finish. And I believe the industry average right now is around 80 or 82%. We're really proud that almost 91% of our students indicated that they were motivated to stay in and complete the program. And 89, almost 90% indicate that they would recommend the program because it met the standards that they were looking for. So let's talk a little bit about the Black Girls Hack Scholarship. And what I want to do, I figured the best way to walk this through is to provide an example. And I want to give an example. If I was a student pursuing any one of those 5 opportunities, what would that scholarship opportunity look like if I were a student in that situation? So let's just take a look at our non-degree courses or our continuing education courses. So if I were a student and I was looking to come to EC Council University to take an individual course and maybe earn an additional certification, CND, CHFI, or maybe I wanted to just upgrade and upskill my CEH or my hacking certification, and I wanted to take that individual course, what would that look like? Well, our standard tuition at EC Council at an undergraduate level is $13.95 per course. What we're providing, and an example would be if we provided that scholarship to an individual, that course that is normally almost $1,400 would be under $700 for members of Black Girls Hack and anybody that's affiliated with the association. If I were taking a graduate course, an individual course, and I wanted to earn a certification at that graduate level, our typical and our standard tuition course is just over $1,600. That would be just over $800 for anybody associated with Black Girls Hack. If I wanted to pursue a bachelor's degree, let's say I have an associate's degree, or I have approximately 2 years of transferable credit, which equates to approximately 60 credit hours, and I wanted to enter into the bachelor's program. Standard tuition at EC Council would be a little under $1,400 for that bachelor's degree. It would be just under $28,000. But for anybody associated with Black Girls Hack, that would only be $698 per course, and it would be under $14,000 to earn that bachelor's degree. Comparably, on the master's side, for either the master's in cybersecurity or the master's in computer science, it would be approximately $1,620 per course, or just under $20,000 For the masters, for those who are associated with Black Girls Hack, $810 per course, under $10,000. So if you're someone that's thinking about, or you know somebody that's affiliated with Black Girls Hack that has been thinking, do I want to pursue an enhanced or an advanced degree and get a master's? I mean, look at this. We're providing an opportunity to earn a master's degree under $10,000. And remember, in that master's of cybersecurity, you're also earning 8 industry recognized in-demand certifications. So earning a master's degree under $10,000, and which includes the cost of all of those certifications. And this is one of those ways, again, where EC Council University really believes we can help Black Girls Hack make an impact on the workforce. And then if somebody wanted to earn a graduate certificate in one of those areas that I highlighted, again, it's $16 per course to earn a graduate certificate, not a certification, but a graduate certificate in one of those 6 areas. It's 3 courses, which at $810 a course would be just under $2,500. And again, what's included in this? All of your books and instructional materials are included in these costs. It includes all the videos. It includes that Grammarly tool, which we discussed. It includes weekly online classes. While we are a fully online university, your instructor lectures will be videotaped, but your instructors also provide access that if you wanted to meet with them once a week, they provide weekly online sessions that are optional if somebody wants to join. And then again, all of those certification exam vouchers are included. So I'd like to think if I'm a bachelor's student, I have an opportunity to earn a bachelor's under $15,000, earn 5 certifications, that if those certifications cost me an average of about $2,000, that would be an additional $10,000 I'd have to pay out of my pocket. That's all included. And then if I looked at that master's level, I'm earning a master's under $10,000. I'm earning 8 certifications that if I had to pay for out of my pocket is another $16,000. I'm getting all of that and earning all of that for under $10,000. The only fees that aren't associated with this, there is a technology fee of $50 per term. And then there is an iLab fee, which is $50 per course if you are earning a certification. So as you can see there, this is our way. This is probably one of the most generous scholarships we have ever provided since I've been with EC Council University. I'm very proud to be able to offer this and to be able to provide this to Black BGH and to members and those that they're affiliated with. So what are the next steps, right? So you might leave here today, asking yourself a few questions, wondering, do I want to go back and earn an additional certification? Do I want to upskill the certification that I have? Do I want to take an individual course? Do I want to earn a graduate certificate? Do I have some previous college, but I never finished my bachelor's? Do I have a bachelor's, but maybe want to earn a second one? Or do I want to pursue a master's? Whatever questions you have, that's why we're here. We're here to help you identify, what does your career pathway look like? Does continuing education or advancing your education play a role in that? It might not. But we're here to help guide you and help you figure that out. So the next step would be to meet with one of our enrollment advisors. And our enrollment advisors are experts who've been doing this. They've been guiding individuals in the cybersecurity field for years, so they can help you determine what the right pathway is for you and determine, is EC Council University the right institution for you? Again, it might be, it might not, but our role is to help you determine that. And then if it is, it's to determine what's the right program for you. What are you looking to do? I talk to students who say, well, I want a master's. Well, that's kind of an ambiguous response. What do you learn? What do you want to get out of your master's? What are the skill sets, competencies that you want to develop while you're in your master's? What do you want the degree to do for you? So our enrollment advisors will help you determine what the right program is for you. If you determine that EC Council University is the right institution for you, and we have the right program for you, the next step is you would submit an application. And your enrollment advisor would help you do that, would help you identify all those things that you need to do. They'll share the admissions requirements with you, help you determine what subsequent items, materials you need to provide, documents you need to provide. They'll actually help you complete that application, and then you'll go through the evaluation process. And then once accepted into the university, we get you aligned with a calendar and a schedule of when you can take that course. You'll be asked and required actually to complete a new student orientation. So whether you've taken an online class before or not, we do require you to go through our new student orientation. Our LMS and our learning management system that we utilize is Canvas. But before you step into day one of your course, part of that orientation is helping you learn, how do you access your instructor lectures? How do you submit assignments? How do you navigate within the LMS? How do you submit work? How do you join your student forums? We will help you learn all of that in that new student orientation before day one. And then the next step is really us helping you continue to build your career and your future. But with that being said, what I'd like to do is I'd like to hit the pause button, and you have the opportunity to submit a question via the chat. So the chat room is now open. If you have a question, please feel free to type it in, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. So you might have a question on maybe one of the programs, one of the certifications, the admissions process, the scholarship itself. Are there any questions? Oh, somebody would like to see the bachelor's degree slide again. Okay. And we will be sending out an email to each of you as well. And if you would like, I would be more than happy to email each of you this deck as well. Does ECCU accept FAFSA? No, at this time, we are not, we have submitted and requested approval for Title IV. We are not Title IV approved. But what we have found is that pretty much only impacts our bachelor's students. But what we have found is with the various scholarships that are available, more often than not, and especially in this situation, with the scholarship that we're providing, most students would probably still be better off financially in the bachelor's program with the scholarships that we're providing than if they were pursuing a degree elsewhere and applying that. What is the average time to complete a bachelor's degree? Both the bachelor's and the master's degree are approximately 2 years. But here's one thing, and I apologize, I didn't share this with you. If you currently hold a cybersecurity certification in one of these areas, part of the evaluation process when you apply for the program, if that certification is current and if it's been earned through EC Council or another accredited provider, you can actually apply that certification to into the bachelor's or the master's program, and you have the ability to potentially waive a course or multiple courses. So in the bachelor's and in the master's, we see students who have the CND, the CEH, CHFI. What they do is they transfer those certifications in. They have the ability to waive courses, which means there are fewer courses they have to take and fewer courses they have to pay for. So the cost of those programs is actually less than what I put up there, and it allows them to complete the program in a shorter period of time. So if you have any certifications, when you go through the evaluation process, we're going to look at that and we're going to come back and say, good news, here's 2 or 3 courses you don't need to take, which means you can complete sooner and fewer courses that you need to take. So, but on average, if you're not transferring in any certifications, you're looking at about 2 years. Now on the bachelor's, the minimum requirement to get in is either an associate's or approximately 60 credit hours but we will accept up to 90 credit hours. So if you're transferring in from maybe a community or a technical college where you have an associate's, but you also have additional undergraduate credit that you've earned, part of the evaluation process is we're going to look at that. So we have students who come in and they actually can transfer in up to 90 credit hours, again, which means they have to take fewer courses in the bachelor's, and it costs them less. If I already have a degree, am I able to transfer credits from another college or university? Absolutely. And again, I can't guarantee, I'm not the registrar. I cannot guarantee what will or will not transfer in, but we encourage you to go through the process and the evaluation so we can let you know. And a lot of students want to do that, to really determine and say, all right, if it's at the bachelor's or the master's level, what am I transferring in? What can I transfer in? And if I come to ECCU, what is it that I actually have to take? And what is that cost actually going to be for me? Let's see here. How would this program aid in solidifying a career as a cybersecurity analyst? Again, I think it depends on your employer. What I would encourage, and I encourage everybody to do this, go on Indeed, do a search if you're looking to solidify a career as a cybersecurity analyst. And that term is actually a little ambiguous. There are analyst positions out there in cybersecurity that have different titles, but go out in Indeed and look at those titles and see what are the requirements, either from a certification perspective or a degree perspective. The other thing that I encourage students to do is think about where you're at in your career. It used to be that the average retirement age in the U.S. was 62. I believe it's now 68. So look at where you're at in the stage of your career and ask yourself, how many more years am I going to be working? Is it 30? Is it 40? Right? How many more years am I going to be working in this industry that I've chosen and I've selected? And then ask yourself, is earning those additional credentials, those certifications, is it going to pay its rewards? And most of our students are the students that recognize, I'm going to be doing this for a while, and at some point I'm going to need this. Okay, Veronica, we will make sure that you get those slides. What I would like to do very quickly, I'm going to provide you some contact information right here. All of our students that are affiliated with Black Girls Hack are actually going to be working with our senior expert enrollment advisor, Nilisha Rampersad. And what I've done is I've put up Nilisha's contact information. You can see I've given you her direct email address, which is nilisha.r@eccu.edu. I'm also providing you with Nilisha's direct phone number, which is 505-341-3258. Feel free to reach to Nilisha either via email or phone. Let her know that you have attended the webinar, you have some questions, or if you want to go ahead and research ECCU a little bit more, I put our website up there. Feel free to go ahead. And I think the last thing that I would really ask is anybody that you know that could not attend today's webinar, okay, that's okay. We're just embarking on this scholarship opportunity with Black Girls Hack. So we know it's going to take some time for word to get out. But all of you on this webinar today, you play a critical role in that. So, you know, we ask you, tell people, spread the word. This is an amazing opportunity. And some individuals that I've spoken with, again, are excited that ECCU is providing such a generous opportunity. And I'll go back to why we're doing that. We're really doing that to fulfill that mission and support organizations like Black Girls Hack. But Nilisha can answer any questions that you have. I will go ahead and send that deck out if you would like. Somebody had asked, do we have monthly payment plans? Absolutely. Again, I think one of the things I'm proud of, being one of the leaders at ECCU Council University is to make sure that, financial plans, scholarships, those are all critical factors for us to help fulfill our mission, which is making education and specifically preparing the next generation of cybersecurity professionals by understanding that having to meet the student and helping support them from a financial perspective is critical, because otherwise, we're not going to be able to be successful in that. So I think we're coming up on time. I believe we've answered all of your questions. I want to thank all of you, first of all, for joining us today. Please help us spread the word. Look at us on social media. Feel free to comment if you've attended and you have some feedback. Go on the Black Girls Hack social media, where I believe most of you probably saw the post. We would love to see you post on Black Girls Hack, on our own social media post.